1970, the Hamilton Motorcycle Club started a new venture at Pukete Road, Horatu. They had leased, or rather they had made arrangements for the owner to use the property on a semi-permanent basis, and right from the start, Pukete Track was full of action. The club had visitors from Hugh Alan Collison, Peter Ploen, and Ross McLaren was back for his first ride after being away in England for 18 months. They put on a wonderful show for a very big crowd on the first meeting. Let's have a look at the place. It's just a pumice area alongside the river, and this is apparently going to be where the sewage plant will be established eventually for Hamilton City. In the meantime, the club have laid down the track and made quite a good job of it. Hello, a new make, Italian most likely. The scene in the pits where everybody was settling down. It was a fine day, but we'd had a week almost of pouring rain, and the course was absolutely waterlogged in places. Just as well it was a pumice surface, otherwise it would have been rather bad. But here are the up-and-coming riders in one of the first races. Barry Alderdice from Tauranga leading them through. They had a lot of trouble in this spot here. Wow, that was close. Well, it was too close. This little cutting got very, very bad, and it trapped, at one stage there were 5 or 6 bikes all over the place in it. My word, it took some getting out of that little mud heap too. We have a lineup of the experts for the first scratch race, and everybody's in this. Hugh Anderson, Peter Ploen, Alan Collison, Doug McLaren, Ross McLaren, Alan Franklin, the whole works. Alan Collison took the lead. We slowed him down a bit to see how they handle this. Hugh Anderson following him on the Husqvarna. Ross McLaren on the built-up CZ. Doug on his single quarter CZ. We've slowed the action down here to see what could happen. Here's Alan Collison, a very steady rider as Alan. And Hugh looks as if he's quite unable to make much impression on him. Push around, boy. Well, here we are coming up into the home straight, and Alan Collison won it very closely from Hugh Anderson, and who was third? Ross McLaren. And here we have the start of the second of the big scratch races, and they were putting the pressure on here. Ross made a very, very bad start, away back towards the field, at the end of the field there in yellow. Hello, that was close too. Hello, Barry Alderdice from Tauranga. He was miles away from his bike. Never mind, everybody's all right. They're putting a cracking pace on here. Alan Collison in the front, Peter Ploen, Hugh Anderson, Doug McLaren, and Ross McLaren in the white helmet there, just catching up slowly. These jumps from the main straight were rather terrifying for the first few times. Alan Collison still in the front, and Hugh's starting to bustle him a bit now. Here's Alan here, and he makes a bit of a mess of it on this corner. Oops. My word, that was lucky that fellow in blue didn't collect him. But it put Alan off his stride a bit, and it let and young Ross has come through to challenge them both now. Hugh's there, Alan Collison, Ross McLaren, Peter Ploen. Ross was cracking the pace on now though, and he was really after them. He was doing some big jumps here and there. He's not very fit. He hadn't ridden for 3 months, having packed the bike up and then travelled home from England. I think he yes, he got through there. He cut Alan off somewhere along the back. And he's having a great go here with Alan Collison for second place, with Peter Ploen in very, very close behind. Hugh nearly overdid it here. Not sure whether he wanted to scare the cameraman or it was accidental, but he wins quite well. Hugh Anderson won the big scratch race. And who was second? Ross McLaren. Coasting home is second, and Alan Collison was third. Very good ride by Hugh. He's mighty hard to beat when he really tries. Ooh, hard work, Ada. Alan Franklin the same, Peter Ploen. We had quite a big gathering in the pits. Like a good motorcycle racer, he first care was his motorcycle as far as Hugh Anderson is concerned. Then the boys are called up to the start-finish line. Hugh Anderson first, Ross McLaren second in yellow, and Alan Collison in white third. The club president thanks the people and introduces Hugh and presents him with the cup. And here we have Hugh Anderson, 4 times world's champion, road racing champion, thanking the people for being present and the club for putting the meeting on. And with this shot of Ross McLaren coming up to say how nice it is to be back home from England, we say cheerio to Pukete Road, 1969.